All roads led to San Diego this week, and it's the end of the road for these two teams, Mexico and the Philippines. The world rankings all start to take shape. By the time your head hits the pillow tonight, we will know 5 through 30 in the world rankings, as all the games will be done except for the bronze medal game tomorrow and the gold medal game tomorrow. Both those games happening at Snapdragon Stadium. Over my left shoulder, England and Japan will battle for 5th. But below, on Rady Field here at SDSU, Mexico and the Philippines will battle for 15th overall. On planet Earth, Mexico came into this tournament ranked 38th overall at the 2018 tournament. What an improvement from 38 to potentially 15 that would be for Mexico. One of the stories of the tournament for me is this Mexico side that has been 3 for 3 so far this week. For the Philippines, they finished 10th in this tournament back in 2018. It was their debut performance, and with the roster littered with NCAA Division I lacrosse players, they thought they had a chance to do that this week, but pretty much a pool of death they had to go through with Israel and Puerto Rico, the Czech Republic, and Sweden through pool play. The Philippines have won 4 in a row, so momentum is on their side. We'll see if they can overcome this Team Mexico squad. By the numbers, their offenses are pretty even. Goals for, Mexico 9.33, Philippines 9.17. It's the goals against that has really been the difference maker for this Philippine squad. They allowed just 5.54 goals against average throughout this last 10 days. That is 4th best in this entire tournament. For Mexico, they've allowed 9.33 per game. That's 20th overall through the first 6 games of this tournament. Mexico has beaten they've beaten Austria, Wales, and France. The Philippines has beaten Czech Republic, Sweden, Peru, and Scotland. Mexico fell to Scotland 9-8 in the opening game of this tournament. The Philippines are led by their goaltender, Dan Morris, 341 minutes played through these 6 games. A national champion at Maryland, a PLL champion with the Whip Snakes, and he has a 5.45 goals against average and a 54.4 save percentage. He's been a big story for the Philippines, who will wear orange. They will move right to left on your screen. Mexico, white with the red and green trim. They will start left to right. We are on Rady Field, one of 4 fields at this SDSU facility, and the last time we will broadcast a game from this location here at the 2023 World Championships. What a 10 days it's been. Sincerely appreciate you hanging out with us on ESPN Plus, contributing to these broadcasts as always on social media. And we hope that if you weren't able to make it down to SoCal, that we have let you in and you've had a taste and a feel through these broadcasts. Atmosphere has been electric. Lots of Philippine and Mexico fans at Rady Field tonight. It'll be loud, it'll be proud, and they will send these boys off as best they can. 15th place on the line, Philippines and Mexico. My name is Brad Challoner. You can find me on Twitter at BradChal, CHALL. Let me know where you're watching from. It's Friday night. We're all feeling good here in Southern California. Gold and bronze will be played for tomorrow at Snapdragon. We are underway. Ball is batted back off the opening faceoff, and Donovan Rodas out of Grand Canyon, the MCLA, one of 3 Rodas brothers on this team, will get the first touch for the Philippines. Jonathan DeGenio, 5'8", 177-pounder, will take faceoffs and score goals. Such a weapon for the Philippines in 13. Well, juke step by J.J. McKenna. He takes a shot, and the first save of the game is credited to Mexico. Matt Murakami, Providence via UMass Lowell, and now at Brown, the goaltender trying to find his way in the NCAA. He's found his way here at the World Lacrosse Men's Championship. Mexico as a team saving 43.9% of shots. The failed clear attempt, pass inside for Special. He pulls the ball out and hands it off to Jonathan DeGenio. Jonathan DeGenio fires one high. Murakami reached up for it, but it sails wide. Philippines still in possession. Mario Ventiquatro out of The Ohio State. Hard shot from the outside, a rocket. Out of play, Philippine ball. They are firing early. They are firing off in here in this 15th place game. Ball's to the outside. Spinning away from trouble is J.J. McKenna, 8 goals in the tournament. He goes to number 7, Chase Laredo. The San Diego native, Johns Hopkins. Faking the pass is Special. He'll tuck. He'll try to go on 16. Shot pass across the crease. Almost corralled by Ventiquatro. That was a pass, but Ventiquatro not able to get a handle on it. J.J. McKenna now. Stutter step around his man. Pass inside again to Ventiquatro. Drops it. Murakami controls. And Mexico looks to clear and get their offense out for the first time. 2.5 minutes gone. 15th place on earth on the line. Mexico's offense controlled by Sanchez, Josh Sanchez, and Nate Sanchez. Well, Cabrera has been their leading scorer with 16 goals. That's top 10 in the tournament. He wears 33 in white, and he can snipe. Taylor Fiakowski will engage. Draws a flag on the play as Sanchez goes topside to Cabrera. Good long pole matchup, shakes him off with the left arm. Ball is lodged free, and Mexico will go to the man up. Three-man up goals. Excuse me, that's the Philippines. 5-man up goals for Mexico. 15th overall, puts them mid-pack and right where they could finish with a win here today. Nate Sanchez, Josh Sanchez, Mike Hernandez with an outside cannon. He played at Michigan and some MLL with Denver. He likes to shoot. That ball goes wide. As Dan Morris barks orders to his defense. Mexico engaging on the attack. Sanchez back to the point. Nate and Josh go 1-2. Motion starts. Flipped it far side of the field. Still a man up. As that ball skips across. Fernandez bodies his way inside. Hard shot. And Dan Morris' first stop is a key one. Morris will look to clear, rolls it to the nearest long pole. John Tornabane on the slow clears. They'll kill as much time until we get back to even strength. Still just 5 men back, and now we are 6v6 lacrosse. 5 minutes gone, first quarter. No goals between the Mexico and the Philippines. They did not meet so far in this tournament. That ball's lobbed ahead. And now the Philippines on the clear, number 39, Michael Garcia-Terena. Garcia-Terena gets to the offense. Running away from trouble is Nicholas Mitchell, 6 goals in the tournament. The long flow on the back of that orange-red jersey. Controlling from the far side of the field is DeGenio. Wide open man is Griffin Rodas. DeGenio hangs on. Back to the point. McClellan, to Rodas. Back to the point to Special. Stutter step to the inside. McClellan down to the crease. One more. Scores! Griffin Rodas on the delicious feed from Macalad. Penetrates the heart of the D. McCallad with a nice look. So you see him burn around his man. Finds the man down on the crease. One step on top of Murakami. And it's 1-0 Philippines. 8:22 to go first quarter. Good early strike. McCallad looked like he was going to shoot. Have to respect that outside cannon. And then Rodas rolls to the crease. Mexico gets a face-off win from Ernie Malero out of Tufts University. 42% throughout this week. And he gets possession back after Mexico surrenders the first goal of the contest. Mike Hernandez shakes free, waits for one more midfielder to come on. Nate Sanchez, and one more change from the faceoff team. Charlie Frattini, the third kick stop. And Morris puts it out of play. Philippines will have the ball when we come back. One shot by the Philippines right on the doorstep. 1-0, 7:20 to go first quarter. You're watching the World Lacrosse Championship 2023 edition on ESPN+. One of 3 nightcap games happening on the campus at SDSU. Scotland and France, England and Japan, Mexico and the Philippines. The last 6 teams to punch their world ranking today. The other 2 games will be decided tomorrow for 1 through 4. Canada, USA in the gold. Haudenosaunee, Australia for bronze. These 2 teams playing for 15th overall in the world, which would be a massive jump from Mexico's number 38 finish in 2018. They've surrendered the first goal to Griffin Rodas, and the Philippines are in control on the attack. Jonathan DeGenio. Pass behind the net. Philippines have showed some good ball movement at the start of this first quarter. Shot goes wide from Laredo. 7 goals on the tournament. JJ McKenna will engage. Locked off on a long pole, gets underneath, takes a shot off the post. Ground ball out by the 25-yard line here on the SDSU field. DeGenio likes the one-on-one matchup. Good slide coverage by Mexico's Vasquez to take the opportunity away. And Mexico will look to clear. Under 6 to go first quarter. Matt Murakami, the goaltender for Mexico. The long pole, Gerardo Vasquez tries to run away from trouble. His hometown is Raleigh, North Carolina. Mexico back on offense, Fernando Garcia. Plays it deep for Charlie Frattini III. 8 goals, 2 coming on the man up for CF3. Can I call him that? Now Petraka. He's had a good tournament with a couple touches for Mexico. This is his 3rd World Championship. Good pressure defense by the Philippines here to push Mexico all the way deep into the corner. Trying to burn away this offensive possession. As Taylor Fiakowski tries to explore a short stick defender. Fiakowski behind the net at X. Kicks it back up top. Petraka is there to help Sanchez. 10 goals for Josh Sanchez, Mexico's best offensive threat, him and Cabrera. A good 2-man duo. Another good defensive stand by the Philippines. Mexico working perimeter right now, trying to find an open man. Stutter step from Cabrera. 4:14 to go. Extended offensive set, but no looks yet. Oksana Petraka behind the net for Sanchez. Can't miss the green cleats on Josh Sanchez. Tries to spin on a long pole. Gets inside, fires one, is wide of the net. And the Philippines are there. No man behind for Mexico, so the Philippines get the ball back. 3:42 to go. First quarter action. And 1 goal from Griffin Rodas for the Philippines. Dan Morris will clear. Across midfield is Christian Janelle. Being followed by a long pole, so he hands off. And Anthony Brown will try to get free. Anthony Brown in the midfield slows it down. Chase Ladrito gets his way to the inside. Pass to the top of the zone was dropped by Special, and the ground ball pops free. Aaron Escobedo doubled, tripled. Ground ball squirts free. Philippines drop it, and now Mexico off to the races. A trip to the track for Aaron Escobedo. Pass down deep. Cabrera, top side, fires. Morris the save. Good transition opportunity for Mexico. And mailed down the field by the Philippines. Picked off. Dante Castillo. He'll play ahead, and Mexico will retain possession. Jake Larambidi. Handful of Larambidi jerseys in the building here today as he comes through the center. Dan Morris, no. Cabrera fires it wide. And Morris is some kind of fired up. Barking at his D as Mexico goes back to work on the attack. Charlie Fertini, the third double team, stripped. Morris. Aaron Esposito. Ball's dropped at center by the Philippines. Cabrera has a break. Cabrera looks, scores! Takes advantage of a Philippine turnover. And Will Cabrera ties it at 1, under 90 to go in the first quarter. Frantic action here for 15th overall in the world. Cabrera throws it low. Far side. And he has 17 on the tournament. Great end-to-end action. I hope you're entertained to kick things off with us here on ESPN+. I think the pregame speech in a day like this is easy. How do you want to be remembered? This is your final game of the World Championships. Right down the gut is the face-off man with 9 goals on the tournament. You won't see many stat lines like Jonathan DeGenios. 9 goals, 45 ground balls, and 81% at X. He's out of Rutgers. Mexico again in transition. Cabrera gets topside. Cabrera pulls out and runs into a double. Thinking, why did I not shoot? The Mexican fans wondering the same thing. One last look for the Philippines. Nicholas Mitchell, he'll fire one off a shoe and out of play. Mexico ball to chuck a Hail Mary. The length of the field. And a frantic first 15 is in the books. 1-1 Mexico and the Philippines. 15th place on the line. Second quarter action is coming up next. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's Championship from San Diego on Rady Field at SDSU.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
The two highest volume shooting teams, two of the highest shot volume teams in the tournament. Mexico 6 with 177 shots. The Philippines second, 201 shots. Both teams took 8 shots on goal in the first quarter. We're on pace for a fast lacrosse game here. If the first quarter was any indication. Thanks for hanging with us on ESPN+. My name is Brad Challoner. Both goaltenders have made 3 saves. Both teams have had 8 shots. The Philippines, though, have coughed the ball up 8 times. Mexico capitalizing late in that quarter on the Cabrera goal. Mexico will get the first offensive touch of quarter number 2. One of 3 games happening today. The world rankings all starting to take shape. Gets a step, defender slips, falls, sharp angle shot, hits the side of the net from Fernando Garcia. Philippine long pole throws the ground ball to midfield. That'll be another turnover on the Philippines. That will be something they need to clear up. Poise in a big game like this, where you want to finish the tournament strong. Some guys may never be here again. How do you want to be remembered? What do you want to leave on the field here in your final game of the World Lacrosse Men's Championship? And the Philippines give the ball back to Mexico. 90 seconds gone, second quarter. Taylor Fiakowski out of UC Irvine in the MCLA. Behind the net to Josh Sanchez. To Cabrera out of Yale, and now Mexico with a turnover. Ground ball at midfield is recovered by Taylor Fiakowski. Scored 50 goals at UC Irvine in 2022. Ball played to Charlie Frattini III. Comes around top side to Cabrera, the goal scorer for Mexico. Spins to the inside, good followed defense. Now Josh Sanchez at X. Long pole on him, keeping 88 at bay, trying to get on hands. Body to body, pass to the point. Looking, nothing there. And Fernando Garcia will go for a lap, takes a hard slash. Press to the outside. Now Fiakowski. Head fake, shot doesn't make its way through. And Anthony Brown stands his ground for the Philippines. On the run, Justin Hussey. Waiting for the late man, where's the trailer? As Ventiquatro pulls out. You know why he wears number 24? Because Ventiquatro means 24 in Italian. It's a no-brainer, right? Ventiquatro will carry in deep. Wait for one more midfield change as Chase Ladrito, the hometown kid, waits for one more. Jonathan DeGenio has to get a sidestep around his man. Beats him down the alley. Good slide by the Mexican D. They keep him at a bad angle. That was Vasquez with the nice play. Now the ball's up for grabs in the Mexican end. Philippines recover. A change is made off, I believe, broken equipment, so the Philippines have numbers. Pass down, scores! Mario Ventiquatro off the feed and a scrambled play. Philippines with numbers, quick advantage. And Ventiquatro looks like he's going far, tucks it short. The Philippines are up 2-1.
Philippines goal, number 24, Mario Ventiquatro, and assisted by number 7.
The assist comes from Chase Ladrito, and Ventiquatro has his 9th. Nice clean face-off win by Jonathan DeGenio out of Rutgers. Plays with Bobby Russo of the Italian team, who had a heck of a tournament, really jumped off the page. Is a great close defender, causes turnovers. Bobby Russo and Jonathan DeGenio together at Rutgers. Good defensive tandem. Now coming around, taking a shot. Murakami the stop. And Mexico will try to find some life on offense. Angel Asensio trots into the attack. Josh Sanchez, Salisbury D3. Top 10 in points, top 10 in assists over the last 10 days. He's got some good company. With Austin Stotts and Chris Crapranzano, Christian Cuccinello. Mexico will slow it down, trying to dictate the pace. It's been frantic. I've been here for it, hope you have too. Nate Sanchez tries to get topside. Now to Frattini the third. Well, Cabrera matched up against the long pole Hussey, so he moves it. And Nate Sanchez will take a peek. Mike Hernandez with 5 goals. Spinning, Fernandez has it, pass was too low, he coughs it up. Battling for the loose ball. Careful not to draw a flag or a hold, but I think he will. Hernandez with some aggression. I think it's just the loose ball push, so it's Filipino ball as they mail it upfield. The sun starting to fall on Rady Field. Gets dark around 8 p.m. Pacific time. 27 minutes away from that. I know you're ahead of us in Mexico City. We say good evening. Now the Philippines will slow the ball down. Griffin Rodas, who opened the scoring. And Jonathan DeGenio will run behind the Mexican goal. Murakami turns around to watch him. There's a look for Ladrido. Long pole out to greet number 7. Gets past it, blows it through the goaltender. Ladrido makes it 3-1 as he beats Murakami 5-hole. 2 quick strikes by the Philippines and a 2-goal lead. 7:05 to go, second quarter. 15th place in the world on the line. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's Championship from San Diego on ESPN+. Chase Ladrido has a goal and an assist. His Mexico squad is up 3-1 with 7:05 to go in the second quarter. Chase Ladrido spent time at Hopkins, and he's a San Diego native. DeGenio been dominant at the face-off X throughout this tournament so far today. And a big possession up for grabs always after a goal scored. And that's a nice clean win for Jonathan DeGenio. Philippines will have the ball on offense. Christian Janelle. Janelle goes into the middle, kicks it to the outside. Errant pass. Mexico could have just let that run out of bounds and it would have been their ball off the pass, but they'll carry up and they'll start the run. Aaron Escobedo to Will Cabrera. Fights his way to the inside. Cabrera will wait for troops as Matt Hernandez will change. And Ernie Malero, the face-off specialist, playing in his second World Championship. Teaches high school here in Southern California, high school lacrosse. A grower of the game. Fiakowski slips underneath the double team. Back to Ernie Malero. Mails it high for Fernando Garcia. Garcia. Malera with the point. Sanchez being chased by the long pole, all in his grill. And he goes to Frattini the third. Frattini the third, back to Sanchez. There's the short stick matchup. Sanchez eyeing his options. Trying to go one-on-one with 26. Christian Janelle. Sanchez can break ankles when he wants. Fakes top side, looks. Has an open player in Garcia right now. And Cabrera pulls out, nothing there. Garcia. Trapped behind the net, his defender loses his stick. Top side he comes, scores! Takes advantage of the missing weapon, and it's 3-2. I don't know if the Philippine fans will be happy about that. How did he lose his stick? Let's take a look on ESPN+. Just a bit of a poke. Yeah, no hold. That is clean as Lysol. And Garcia takes it to the cage and makes it a 3-2 game. Fernando Garcia was a secondary contributor to this offense throughout this tournament. 5 goals. But he gets a big one here to make it a 1-goal game. Off the face-off, shot wide of the net. Philippines back in possession. Such an easy-looking face-off win by DeGenio to get the ball back on O. Mario Ventiquatro. Across the chase, Ladrido. Behind the net through X. Here's a look. Fire, Marikami the save on Griffin Rodas. 3:38 to go. A frantic game for 15th overall in the world. Ball starts in the far corner for Jonathan DeGenio. Matched against the Mexican long pole. Slide help comes over. Pass is bobbled in the middle of the attack. Picked up by Mexico. A round of applause fires up below me for Jake Larambidi of the University of Texas, Austin in the MCLA. He'll roll it to their sniper, Will Cabrera. Cabrera being watched by Tornabane. Doesn't like that matchup, so he goes to Sanchez. Midfielders come on. The recent goal scorer, Fernando Garcia, and Juan Contreras. Dante Castillo gets free. Hands free. Bouncer stopped by Morris. He lobs it to midfield, but ahead of it for Rodas. He'll run onto it. And the Philippines will call a timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, we get a timeout on the field at 2:19 of our second quarter, first half of play.
First timeout called of the game, where we have barely been able to catch our breath. End-to-end action between Mexico and the Philippines. Philippines 4-2 in this tournament. But it was the early group stage losses to Israel and Puerto Rico that put them third in their pool and kept them out of playoff play. Since then, they've rattled off 4 straight against the Czechs, the Swedes, Peru, and a strong Scottish team yesterday. Mexico also in a tough pool with the Italians and Hong Kong, who came on strong. They lost to both those two teams, went 1-for-4 in pool play with a lone win against Austria, and then have won their 2 placement games against Wales and France. They are 3-3 on the week, and these two teams have matched up brilliantly here for a 15th place finish. Last check, Japan was on top of England 2-0 behind me. And France And Scotland also competing at Wolf Epic Field as we wind down the last day of placements, as everything's starting to shake out in the wash.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Final 2:19. Second quarter, first half of play.
Filipino timeout on the attack. Well-rounded offense. They were 9th in goals for. And they've gone early and often tonight. There's a hard outside shot. Picked up behind the net. Back to Ventacuatro. He drops it. Mexico ball. Do they want a timeout? They can safely clear. Dante Castillo runs to midfield. Bombs it across to Matt Hernandez, and Mexico will call a timeout and drop a play. Head coach Andrew Hawes, assisted by Carl Hawes, Mike McNeil, and Giovanni Perez. You see the Filipino bench talking to the officials, but they'll gather around Coach Hawes and try to draw the equalizer in the dying 2 minutes of the first half. Their goals coming from Cabrera and Garcia. Sanchez has been kept in check so far today as they keep getting the long pole matchup on him. They'll look to attack at X if he can draw the short stick on the commotion, on those switches. Something they'll look for. As we're almost dark on Rady Field. Sun still in the sky, but not shining down on the turf any longer. Mexico possession on the left wing after the timeout. Shooting percentage on this tournament for Mexico was 31.6%. That was about mid-pack. Mentioned they're a high-volume shooting team. Let's see what they have up their sleeve here with 90 to go in the first half. Aaron Escobedo, Fiakowski. Fiakowski to Garcia. The last goal scorer poked by Rodas. Phoenix Rodas, Griffin Rodas, and Donovan Rodas all on this Philippine team. All played together at Grand Canyon. As Garcia attacked, still has it, spins away from trouble. Good slide help, pokes the ball free, but a flag on the play they'll say was on the chin. Philippine bench is livid, and Mexico will try to take advantage here. Man up. 39 seconds to go in the half. 5-man up goals on the week. Hernandez looks, dishes, under 30. Sanchez to Hernandez. Man in the middle is Garcia, switches hands, flings one to outer space. And Mexico will have to set up again. 18.8 seconds to work with. Josh Sanchez has a man up top in Frattini III. Sanchez to Hernandez, fires it, short side high, stinger. What a shot from Hernandez, and we're locked at 3. I've seen Hernandez score from top center. I've seen Hernandez score from lefty shooter. But here he is from righty shooter, short side. Not a lot of angle, hugs it between the pipe, and he takes advantage of that Filipino penalty. Man-up goal for Mexico. 3-3. And watch Ventiquatro. He can win it to himself and run straight up the field. 9.3 seconds is eons for the Philippines. Ventiquatro wins it back, picks it up. 6 seconds. Players trying to pop out to the open space. Not able to get a shot off the face-off win. Are you not entertained? What a first 30. Mexico 3, the Philippines 3, playing for 15th overall at the World Lacrosse Men's Championship. Second half action coming up. Little stat pack, first half highlights. We'll relive the frantic action that we just saw. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's Championship, presented by Rady Children's Hospital from Southern California. Sunglasses off, glasses on as the sun sets on Rady Field here in Southern California. The SDSU campus, one of 4 fields in action, and one of the remaining 5 games to go in this tournament, 3 of which happening as we speak. Japan on top of England right now, Scotland and France battling, and then the medal games tomorrow, Haudenosaunee and Australia, Canada, and the USA. The score is deadlocked, but so is everything else. Shots 14-14, saves 3-3. Clears 7 of 8 for the Philippines, 8 of 9 for Mexico. The only big difference is the face-offs won. Philippines dominating there 6-2. Ground balls, Philippines 15-11. And this is a big one, turnovers. Philippines 10. Mexico's just turned it over 5 times. Philippines have coughed it up, one of them resulting in a Mexican goal by Cabrera. Frantic first 30. Appreciate you hanging out with us on ESPN Plus. My name is Brad Challoner. Thank you to the crews in the truck that have wrapped up over 100 games now over the last 10 days. It takes a village to put on an event like this. We thank everybody behind the scenes here at Southern California. Thank you for spending your evening with us. Shot high and wide by the Philippines to open the second half. Man closest to the end line on a shot as the ball goes out of bounds, though, will retain possession for his team. And that is the Philippines. Mexico has never led in what's been a close game through 30. J.J. McKenna shoots one wide. And the offense will reestablish. Mario Ventiquatro. 8 goals in the tournament. Gets to Jonathan DeGenio. He comes around top side, sails one wide again. 3 shots wide of the net. Philippines firing. Second most shots in the tournament. 201 coming into this game. As they skip the ball around the attack. To the point for Ladrido. Fires it, another one wide. Throwing everything they can at Murakami. Sharp angle, stick save Murakami, points at the rebound. Mexico is there to gobble it up. As they transition to midfield. Jake Larambidi with wheels. Does he want to step in? Gets the long pole, kicks out to Frattini. And Mexico will skip it around the offensive zone. Shot, goal! Cabrera goes bar down. Mexico has their first lead, it's 4-3. Starts with the save in their own end. Murakami points at the loose ball. It's gobbled up by Larambidi. They quickly transition it up the field. A couple passes, and then Cabrera beats his man one-on-one and goes bar down. 12:40 to go, third quarter. Will Cabrera second, 18th of the tourney. Ventiquatro flips that one this time. To his wing, Donovan Rodas. Philippines will look to answer back. Jonathan DeGenio wins faceoffs at 81%, but also scores goals. Likes his short stick matchup, takes a shot! What an angle! What a goal! Guys taking matters into their own hands right now. And DeGenio ties it at 4. Switches hands, rings that one lefty high to the middle of the net, right where Murakami's head should be. And we've got a game. 10th of the tournament for DeGenio. And he's right back at the face-off X. What a motor. You know, fans, it's tough to appreciate how much energy these guys actually expel at the face-off when they're battling. It takes a lot out. And then to go play full offensive reps, that's a pretty special feat for number 13 for the Philippines. He plays at Rutgers, and he is a weapon. He has a tying goal right now. Philippines in possession. Again, this quick strike offense. 3 bodies cut towards the middle, and now re-engaged. DeGenio again. Passes it off, switches hands, pass inside, and Murakami will blow his man up. That pass intended for Griffin Rodas. And the officials will give the ball to Mexico. Big Sam Montoya will direct traffic. As Mike Hernandez tries to get to midfield. Did he change his cleats at halftime? Fresh pair of kicks for 16. Mexico still having trouble clearing. Montoya puts it right in the basket. Right up the field. Wide open, one-on-one. Scores! Sign the Christmas card as Montoya has given a gift to the Philippines. One quick pass upfield. Bang, the 5-4 goal. We were just talking about at half how it was the Philippines who turned the ball over 10 times to Mexico's 5. Well, that will haunt Mexico right now. Matt Special puts the Philippines back on top. 8:55 to go, third quarter, in what has felt like a game that had a shot clock. This is how fast and swinging this game has gone. Imagine these two teams with a shot clock. Bananas. Griffin Rodas ahead to Jonathan DeGenio. Switches hands, fires that one, bad angle, out of play. Recovered by Mario Veinticuatro. To Nicholas Mitchell. Mitchell takes a couple hacks. Goes to Griffin Rodas, who opened the scoring. Was the captain at Grand Canyon in his senior year. Behind the net. Back up top. DeGenio fires. Another shot wide. They love to shoot. Back behind the net for Veinticuatro. Over to Nicholas Mitchell. That one's picked off. The Philippines throw one away. See if Mexico can exchange the favor. Aaron Escobedo with the long pole. To Castillo. The offense will slow Will Cabrera. He'll wait for midfielders. Juan Contreras on. pushes it ahead. Charlie Frattini III. Behind the net for Sanchez. Back to Cabrera. Long pole matchup. Kicks away. Hernandez has it. To Contreras. Juan Contreras likes the shorty. Switches hands back up top to Hernandez. Hernandez trying to get past the pole. Pass is struck by the stick of Rodas. Phoenix Rodas, that is. And Contreras will carry in. Juan Contreras. Back at X for Sanchez. There's the pole awaiting Sanchez as he looks. Good coverage. Trying to battle his way inside. Cabrera fires it. Morris got a piece, and it goes out of play. Mexico ball on attack. When we come back, they trail by 1. It's 6:11 to go in the third quarter. Philippines 5, Mexico 4. This is a game for 15th place in the world on ESPN+. Mexico scored 3 in a row to take the lead 4-3. The last 2 have gone to the Philippines. DeGenio and Special. They have the Philippines back on top 5-4, but Mexican possession deep in their attacking zone. Charlie Frattini III to Mike Hernandez, and a great crowd on hand here at Rady Field. Players from other games that are done starting to spill over. As that's what's fun about having a campus like this when there's 3-4 games going on at once. You just walk around, find the closest score, settle in. And that is this game right now. 5:43 to go in the third quarter, 1-goal game. Top center for the Philippines. Their hero, Jonathan DeGenio. Shakes, comes around top side, can't do it. Good defense. Dropping to a knee, DeGenio escapes. Now he's got the short stick. Pass in tight for the long pole, who tries to shovel it back. Flag on the play. Hussey, what's he even doing up there? Good look inside. So he tried some wizardry. A man-up opportunity to come for the Philippines. So 1 minute personal on Castillo, so a lengthy man up for the Philippines. They have a man inside. As Special takes a look to Ventaquatro. Special, Ventaquatro, fires, soars wide. Nicholas Mitchell will start with it. Mitchell across to Special. Back to DeGenio, the crowd yelling out he's a shooter. They know there's a shot, and Murakami makes the save on J.J. McKenna. Donovan Rodas. And now Mexico clears up field. Short-handed still. So Charlie Frattini III of George Washington University scored a lot of goals there. We'll go for a run. Taylor Fiakowski. The 45, the veteran, the leader, Ernie Malero. High school coach growing the game in Southern California as Will Cabrera and the offense goes to work 6-on-6. Big separation and a stop by Morris. Engaging again from the left wing. Fiakowski with Garcia. Fiakowski across field Frattini spinning away. Passes the ball off. Fiakowski crumbles. Recovers on the Philippine pressure from Janelle. Now Garcia runs around the net. Garcia still has it. Long pole, tucks underneath. Shot! Bounces far side. Sanchez still has it. Bit of a broken down D, looking for something. Shoots! And that one, no one there behind the net. And Morris will clear. 1 goal lead for the Philippines as we approach the final 2 of the third quarter. Double that center, hack to the ground, flags rain on Rady. Procedure called on Mexico. Philippines will have the ball. Matt Special. 9 goals coming into tonight. Give him double digits. As he has the go-ahead goal for the Philippines right now. Fakes the handoff. Who has it? Shot! So many shots for the Philippines. So many sailing wide. Mitchell to 24. Back to Mitchell. Back to even strength. Mexico kills off the man down. 24 pulls out so the 6v6 can reestablish. Ladrito gets inside. He fires one and Murakami makes the save. Transition to midfield. Final minute. 2 timeouts each. Spinning away was Larambidi. Gets inside, collapses, doubled. Philippines have the ball. Larambidi wants a call, doesn't get it. Injured player on the field, and the Philippines will likely have the last possession of this quarter. Larambidi played blown down with him on the field injured, so he has to vacate the premises. And the Philippines will start the ball deep in their own end. Long clear with under 30 to go. Stop time now, final 30 seconds of the frame. Across midfield, bodies collide. Ball jarred free. Mexico has a look. Sanchez, one-on-one, fires it wide. Big turnover. Again, the Philippines cough up the ball and it almost pays. Now just a short jab upfield. 10 seconds for Morris. Hail Mary. Just plays catch with Murakami. And we'll have 45 in the books in a 1-goal game. Everything that this sport is about on the line in the next 15 minutes. 15th place in the world on the line. This is the World Lacrosse Men's Championship from San Diego on ESPN+. With 15 minutes left in what could be the last appearance for many of these players, this could be a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and it is for most players. 15 minutes left of an amazing 10 days for Mexico, who, win or lose, will climb. Quick sting by the Philippines as they look upfield. Mexico, win or lose, will be about 22 places ranked higher in the world than when they came in. Pretty remarkable. Philippines, Chase Ladrito. Pass across off the crossbar. Inches. Mexico in transition. Jake Larambidi, who doesn't look like he's too hurt, to Matt Hernandez. Man trailing, looking, passing, shooting. Morris the save! Fantastic look by Frattini III. Now pushing pace the other way. The Philippines in transition. That one goes wide. Philippines are going to watch this tape and think how many shots they had that cruised 8, 10, 15 feet away from cage. So many shots, but just have not been dialed. But they do lead. 5-4, 13:33 to go. Stutter step, man down, fired Murakami. Going toe-to-toe with Dan Morris. Brown versus Maryland in the cage. Mexico forcing tempo. Pass dropped. Sanchez will recover before it goes out of bounds. Bounce pass to Matt Hernandez. And they'll wait for the right personnel. That comes in the form of Fernando Garcia. He has a goal today. Ernie Malero getting lots of midfield time in what could be his last World Championship. Ernie Malero looking to go one-on-one. Gets top side, drops a hand, uses his speed, kicks it aside. And Frattini will go back to Malero. He re-engages again. Ernie Malero, pass inside is dropped. Ground ball, digging for it. Mexican bodies in there, and Fiakowski picks up a big ground ball with 12:16 to go. Another one-on-one engagement from the righty wing. Fernando Garcia got a pull on him now. Loses the ball. Grounder up for grabs. A whistle. Procedure Philippines, Mexican ball. They have to give the player 5 yards. Frattini will lob it to Ernie Malero, who they're really looking to here. Cabrera. He's got the pole. Switches. Cabrera draws a flag. Passes across. Malero will shoot, and Morris says not yet. Flag on the play. A Mexican man advantage. Down by 1 with 11:14 to go. Nate Sanchez to Juan Contreras. Mike Hernandez. Working the ball around on this man-up opportunity. Sanchez. Now the motion starts. Watch for Sanchez creeping around to righty crease. Cabrera. Sanchez. Kick back up top. Tuck. Nate Sanchez back up top. Frattini. Sanchez to Sanchez. Short stick matchup. Comes around top side. Dean Morris says no. Dan Morris, excuse me. I'm adding extra E's because it's exciting. Pardon the cheese. 10-11 to go. Dan Morris in possession of the pill. Wasting time to get back to even strength. And that happens now. 6v6 upfield. Ground ball dropped by the Philippines. Something else that could go back to haunt. Causing turnovers. Unforced errors. And this one's chopped down. And Mexico gets the ball and calls a timeout. Just a chance to take a breather. This play's been so frantic. There's been turnovers at midfield. So a plan to get across into the attack safely, work the offense, and try to draw the equalizer. 9:48 to go great atmosphere in here. It is the evening before the gold medal game. This tournament started on the first day of summer, June 21st. Here we are 9 days later, 10 days later. Gold medal up for grabs tomorrow. Canada, USA. On Canada Day, which is July 1st, that's their version of the 4th of July, essentially. Fireworks, tailgates. Now the bronze medal game between the Haudenosaunee and Australia. Japan on top of England right now, looking to get their way into A pool. Mexico looking to lock up 15th overall in the world. 9-4 with 9:30 to go. 6-on-6 attack for Will Cabrera and co. Hernandez to Contreras. Back behind, pass high for Nate Sanchez. He bobbles it, fighting for it, recovers, and defense has to scramble back into position as Hernandez goes to Cabrera. Cabrera trips on the turf monster. Pulls back out and will have to reestablish the play. Gonna try to do it again. With Contreras starting up top. Again, behind to Frattini. Short stick matchup for Frattini. Comes around top side, shoots and scores! No, it doesn't cross the line! Referees will discuss. Good goal, Mexico! What a cheeky shot from Charlie Frattini III. Dribbles down the back of Morris. And we're tied at 5. Salivates at the short stick matchup. Soon as he turns the corner, puts that right over the shoulder. It took a second, but it stands. Brand new lacrosse game, 5-5, 8:32 to go. Charlie Frattini the third ties it at 5. Ground ball battle at midfield. Philippines pick up the loose ball. DeGenio, first in ground balls in the entire tournament. 45 coming into this game. Eats them for breakfast. And he has the ball right now. Over to 24. 24 behind the Mexican net. Long pole matchup. 24 on big Sam Montoya. Moves it over. There's a short stick matchup. Top side, good bodied. Ground ball up for grabs. Who wants it? Big play by Jake Larambidi out of the midfield. Bodies it free, Mexican possession. Cabrera attacking right away. Back pedal. Drops the stick low. Over to Mike Hernandez. One more change. Again, it's Juan Contreras. Hernandez, good follow. Looking for a cutter. Sanchez wasn't there. And Contreras will engage. Juan Contreras slowly curls around. Goes back to top center to Cabrera. Will Cabrera trying to run away from trouble. Was a red shirt for the national champ Yale team in 2018 under head coach Andy Shea. Sanchez kept at bay. Goes deep to Nate Sanchez. Short stick matchup at X. What does Nate Sanchez want to do? Top side, kicks it. Josh Sanchez scores! Josh Sanchez trickles one across the turf, and Mexico leads with under 6 to go. Short stick matchup behind the cage. Nate runs it around, kicks to Josh, who rifles one from the outside. Flex those double snowmen, Josh Sanchez. Under 6 we go, 6-5 Mexico. You're watching the World Lacrosse Men's Championship on ESPN+, 15th place on the line. Stick with us. Mexico got their lead back. They were trailing 5-3 to the Philippines. They've scored the last 2 to tie, take the lead in a back-and-forth lacrosse game. Both these teams, I think, saving their best for last. Teams can get better as the week progresses. As long as you remain healthy, the chemistry improves, the camaraderie, the ball movement, the enthusiasm, the heart, the soul, and the Philippines have tied it. JJ McKenna. Talk about guttiness and grit in the fourth quarter of your last game of the year. Unassisted by McKenna off the face-off team. Unlikely heroes in big situations. That's what the World Championships are all about. JJ McKenna adds another tally. Back to square one. Who wants OT? 4 minutes, extra intervals, stop time, no timeouts. We're 4:28 away from that. Sam Montoya matched up against Mario 24. Across field, big advantage in the face-off circle tonight for the Philippines. They haven't had a lot of pressure here, but haven't needed his 24 will step into one. That one's blocked. And Mexico throws it away. Pressure situations, unforced errors. Feeling the pressure as we go under 4. Philippines looking to take their lead back. Chase Ladrito has a goal tonight, matched up against the short stick, Laren Beatty. Well, Laren Beatty plays a fantastic two-way game. Behind the net for Ladrito. The San Diego native wants to be hero tonight. Listen to this place erupt. Ladrito, top side, fires and scores! Philippines get their lead back. The outside snipe off the feed from Ladrito, give him his second assist. As Adrian McCallaclad has his second of the game. And a monster face-off here. The fans are hyped, the PA guy's hyped, I'm hyped. Hope you are too. Hanging out on ESPN+. My name is Brad Challoner. Buckle up for the final 2:30. Another clean face-off win. Here comes DeGenio, splits the D, fires! Philippine ball with all the momentum. DeGenio, a face-off beast, gets possession with a 1-goal lead. JJ McKenna has to get inside, rolls away, double comes over. Timeout, Philippines. as they try to get the crowd on their feet.
1:59 remaining in our contest.
Under 2 to go.
Cheers out there, fans. We got 2 minutes left. 7-6, tie game.
See if the Philippines can kill as much time off the clock. If they sense some danger, try to attack the cage. Get themselves the ball back. And if you're Mexico, have to start getting on hands, getting aggressive, getting that extra possession. It's been a well-rounded attack from both sides tonight. 2 higher scoring offenses in the top 10 of this tournament. But it's been a defensive battle as well, with some great plays on either side. And these two teams haven't played each other in this tournament, but this has rivalry written all over it if these guys meet again in any sort of international competition. You know, coaching staffs will talk, you know, players will talk, and there will be grudge. Mexico urging their fans to get on their feet. Philippines with one last huddle. Under 2 to play in a 1-goal game, 15th in the world on the line. Dan Morris and Murakami have been fantastic in their nets today. Does Murakami have some heroics in him late? As Mexico right away will double the ball carrier in the far corner. Montoya and Larambidi, 2 of their best. The cage is empty. Insurance, Philippines! Chase Ladrito, empty net goal, 8-6. Runs fast through the double, and then a wide open Ladrito finishes it off, points to his teammate with the quick feet. And DeGenio, who's had a fantastic night at X, has a big face-off for one more possession. 1 timeout Mexico, 1 timeout Philippines. Ladrito against Ernie Malero. Ernie Malero on the field for what could be his last World Championship. They'll let him run out the clock with Team Mexico. One more look from DeGenio. Pass across, shot stopped by Murakami. Picked up by Vasquez. Bobbles it near midfield. Malero is there. Will they clear out for 45? You've been looking to him a lot tonight. One of the heart and soul pieces of Team Mexico. Will Cabrera. Not a lot of time to waste. Juan Contreras will move it forward. Contreras behind the net. Short stick matchup. Kicks it topside. Cabrera. Pass. Sanchez wasn't ready. Sanchez recovers. Players up top calling for it. Sanchez swims the defender, tries to get topside, looking. Sanchez, great D from the Philippines. Sanchez has nothing from the outside. Hernandez, and a stop by Morris. Big ground ball. Philippines after it. Mexico battling. Bodies fall into the corner. And procedure called on Mexico. Philippines ball. 31 seconds left. Loose ball push. Mexico has to establish 5 yards from the player with the ball. Mexico, who was leading not too long ago, surrender a couple goals late. And the Philippines can kill the clock. They lob it downfield. Mexico.
Timeout on the field, charge to the Philippines.
Philippines call a timeout, and the coaching staff's already celebrating. They were trailing 6-5 in the fourth quarter. Goaltending, face-offs, and a well-rounded attack. Rattle off 3 in a row late. Hero ball. As the Philippines, who won 4 games in a row, coming into this one, are absolutely feeling it. They're sipping Gatorade, they're celebrating, and talking about how they'll run it to safety around their coaching staff. Led by Kirk Ventaquattro, Tony Ventaquattro, Sis Cross, and Ben Gable. And they're 16 seconds away from celebrating 15th place in the world. Great fan support tonight on Rady Field to send these teams off. Final time they'll touch the turf. Some of these players forever at the World Lacrosse Men's Championship. Philippines had to go through the Asian Pacific qualifier to get here. Mexico, the Pan American. And 16.4 for the Philippines to run the clock. Careful not to turn the ball over. Running away. And it thrown into the corner. That's off a pass. Mexican ball. But just 3 seconds to go as he mails it upfield. And the Philippines come from behind. They rattle off 3 in a row in the fourth quarter. And they are the 15th best country on the planet. Mexico falls to 16. But still a monumental climb from where they entered at 38. Lots to be proud of for Team Mexico. Lots to be proud of for the Philippines, who cruised to some big victories this week, can leave the World Championship with their heads held high, and 15th overall in the world. What a finish. What a finish. Thank you for hanging out with us here on ESPN+. Mexico led. The cheeky shot from Frattini, that tied things at 5. We went back and forth. Sanchez kicked it back up top to Josh Sanchez. The trickler. That was the Mexican lead. We thought that could have been ball game, but no. The Philippines rattle off 3 in a row. The tying goal, the outside jumper 5-hole through Murakami. The top side rifle. And then the insurance from Ladrito. The empty netter, a strong night for him with a couple goals and a couple of assists. That was the nail in the coffin. And that is how things ended here on Rady Field. For the last time on this field, what a special week it's been. A couple more games still in action. Japan and England. We've got the gold medal game and the bronze medal game tomorrow. But it's been an amazing week. Thank you to the Mexican fans for tuning in, engaging on social media. Thank you to the Philippine fans who have come out here in droves and supported us all week long on ESPN+. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for enjoying the Creators Game with us. If you can get to San Diego tomorrow, do yourself a favor, catch the gold medal game. If not, we'll see you in a couple years. That's it for Rady Field. The Philippines seal 15th overall in the world. Thank you to the monumental crew behind the scenes that put on all these broadcasts all week long. What a crew. What a crew. Thank you, guys. Thank you for checking us out on ESPN+. My name is Brad Challoner. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the gold medal game. Thank you for spending time with us here at the World Lacrosse Men's Championship. From the final time, we say good night from San Diego. The Philippines 8, Mexico 6. Thanks for watching the World Lacrosse Men's Championship presented by Rady Children's Hospital on ESPN+. Peace out.